about 15. And she looks like, you know, a little girl that's just beyond a little girl. I mean, like, you know, she was just a little girl. She looked like it and she acted like it, except on this. She didn't have no time for small talk or that unimportant stuff. That goobly-gop y'all be talking, I ain't talking that, you know. I read all the books, she read all the books on climate and everything. And so, remember we always said, can you put it up there? Yes. We always said, well, we hope she don't burn out, you know, too soon because, but she said that in the movie, not the movie, but the documentary herself. Because remember, there's a difference. If you do like us, where you had big audiences, but you don't have big audiences, not like Malcolm and King and those people, right? When you have those big audiences, you get a feeling like you can do something because all the people are there, right? So they're first inviting her to Poland to speak at the UN off-branch, and finally they bring it over here. She said, I'm not gonna fly over there, I'm gonna take a boat. So she took a sailboat to come from England all the way over here, and she's from Sweden. She woke up all the young people are all fired up all over the world. And she got the best grades in the school at the same time, although she ain't going to school. So, one of the last talks she gave at the UN, she said, why are you people stealing our childhood? You're just lying. All you do is get up there. I've said this stuff over and over again. You listen and all you're thinking about is how I can get some more money, how I can get my stocks, and how, that's all you guys think about, you know. And so, you know, the amount of pressure that she's been dealing with and the amount of attention, she evolved very quickly. But she was despondent part of the time because no immediate response and whatever. Now, this is where we come in. Any of y'all that read our writings already know that we have always, for the last 20, 30 years, no, technically we've always had one of our planks have always been environmental. Okay, so we're going to talk about our return to Oakland, but right now we can help them. How are we going to help them? First of all, you already have all of these people, right? Now, mobilize, organize, and direct those people. Simple things like, first of all, we're going to pull back from white boys in the 60s and the early 70s when they wanted to do this type of thing. They called it roughing it. Roughing it meant that they were the ones that went to communes and didn't have toilets and it. Okay, that came out of, they saw in those days how that easy life had ruined them. I mean, this is 1970. You know, the first Earth Day was 1970. I don't know if you would remember, but if you think pollution was so bad, they was just running sludge down the rivers. Rivers in Ohio and other places was catching on fire.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, catching on fire. A couple of them rivers run right through Indiana. I bet you half of them was on fire. Because all that production, remember, Indiana, Ohio, people don't know the amount of production and steel mills and this mill and chemical, all up and down, right on the side of them rivers. And they would just dump all of that stuff. Fish dying like by the, I mean, boy, look at here. Boss man, he's still mean, but he was stupider even then. So they had Earth Day, and Earth Day meant that we got to clean up this, so they did some cosmetic stuff. So like a lot of, at least the rivers won't burn now. But here's what we can do. Here's what they can do. They have the people now. They have to mobilize the people. They have to maybe give them a good purpose. They have to show them what they can do. Okay. They can have different teams. Different people do different stuff. But the first thing is cut consumption, like consumers. They already kind of like that. Cut consuming all of these plastics and all this stuff, right? Cut back on that. Also, eat less. Eat less. And all the stuff we talk about, clean up the oceans, all that, we'll start with the glass bottom rowboats right up and down the coast, right? This is talking about right now, day after tomorrow, very soon. Organize all of those kids. First thing is nonviolent resistance. In their case, resistance is non-consumption. We're not going to consume that crap anymore. And we're going to clean up everything. We're going to give the kids a purpose for living. You know, all the amount of suicides amongst young people has exploded, especially boys. Well, it ain't no damn mystery. A boy don't know what they had some studies in England, go back 5, 6 years ago. The boys are going, hell, a boy don't know what to do now. He used to supposed to be this, the protector of girls, and you know what I mean, the tough guy. Now, hell, what is his role, right? They don't know what to do. And they haven't gave them nothing to do. And right now it's getting worse. We all for equality and the whole cabinet full of girls. But the kids didn't do this, just like the white kids didn't have us in slavery, right? Well, those white people, those white boys right now, getting addicted to drugs, committing suicide, doing all the stuff that supposedly the Negroes should do, they didn't have anything to do with it either. And they didn't oppress the girls back in the day, right? Okay, so if you're gonna fix stuff, one thing about boss man, if he gonna say, I'm gonna fix it, break out running, because he ain't gonna fix nothing right. Is he don't know how to fix nothing right. It's gonna be, he messed it up and put it out of balance, and he's gonna, when he fix it, it's gonna have a balance that give me some more money. And so it ain't gonna work, because his intention is wrong. So now, think about young people. Now remember, these are mass movements. They already have the visibility. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to mobilize those young people. We're going to give them purpose. We're going to let them pull away from the system. 20 years, no or low consumption. No, we're not going to get back to bicycles, right? Bicycles and big rubber wheel carts. If you want to go to the store, you get your butt up and walk up to the store, right? Pushing your big cart. What's it going to do? You're going to get in very good shape walking up to that store. And pretty soon, your weight's going to trim down. You're going to trim down. Turn them bike lanes into cart lanes and all that. And you're going to walk up there. right? And when you start walking and exercising and cleaning up all the shorelines, right? And no motorboats, only big rowboats, big rowboats. Instead of that rowing machine, you're gonna row out there. You're gonna spend a whole shift cleaning up that garbage and putting it on a big rowboat barge, right? They got some of that stuff going already. They give you a little decal around your wrist for cleaning up barley and stuff like that. They already doing that. You can see it on TV. But this is mobilize those thousands of people. What happened? Pretty soon, suicides go down. Why? Because they're taking charge of their future. The thing that you noticed last night, when we have to stop depending on, you're not going to convince those bums in the UN, they just might as well be talking to Congress.
Yeah.
They're not going to do it. They're not programmed, they don't understand. They can hear you talking, but they don't know what it means. They don't taste it. They don't care.
Yeah, they don't care.
And that's what the little girl was saying. You just lie. I just tell you this stuff all the day. You just bring me here like a show and you put me here and then you don't do nothing. She said, I'm not going to do that. Neither are we. What I mean to say is, you know, there's a high road, low road, high road, stuff like that. We ain't taking no low road on nothing. We're not going to even curse the darkness anymore. We're going to light the candle. We're going to say, click on the lights. Cursing the darkness, you niggas did this, you people do that, you did. You've been doing that? This is a war. This is a struggle between the shaitan, right? Evil and good. And we're going to be on the side of good. Okay, evil got a head start, no doubt about that. Evil got a head start. But study, every time in history, when there's been big rebellion, a big change, the people have separated. We're talking about a non-violent separation. It don't mean like we're going to move over here. No, we're going to be in the same environment. But we're going to change our behavior. You want to consume? You think it's going to make you happy? Consume it. We're not going to consume. We say the less consumption, the better. The less we consume. And if we need something, we'll get secondhand stuff. Do you know how many extra clothes we have in America? How many extra? They send the extra old clothes, 2-3% up over to Africa in these big bins.
Right. That's right.
And the people love them. We don't need to produce, we don't need any new clothes for like, I'm not talking about style. Every transition in history, whether from divine revelation or whether from revolution historical documents, the society was going two ways. One, to hell in a handbasket, and the other way, people are turning to good. That's always. In Iran, before the revolution, on the Caspian Sea, they had new beaches up there. In Iran, on the Caspian, Yeah, they did. In Iran. A few years later, they had signs around, marked by be hijab, death to the people that don't wear hijab. Of course, it's mellow now. But, hey man, after the revolution, when I was there a couple of times, one of the brothers asked me, do you know what that sign says? Spray painted. I said, it says, Mar, Bar, Be hijab. You know what that means? I said, yeah, I know what it means. Death to those that don't wear hijab. You don't wear hijab, death to you. They had committees going around in those days. You didn't wear no hijab, boy, you'd be troubled. Now they can throw it all back it's like it should be. It's more relaxed. Okay. Anyway. So, the less consumption, the better.
The less waste.
The less waste. If you can have, we'll take whatever they throwing away, we'll take that and use it because it's too much anyway. And we'll have teams, look, the whole team, imagine, this is not talking about a group, this is talking about a community lifestyle change. Okay, we're staying out of McDonald's. The food is too cooked fast and it ain't good for you. No, just like you can have, like they have all kind of people. They have vegans who are total vegetarians, right? You have lacto-ovo vegetarians like I am. Lacto, I drink milk, eat ice cream, and I eat eggs and stuff like that. Lacto-ovo vegetarian, but I don't eat meat. And every now and then, I might eat a little fish. Okay. Because fish is 35% protein and all that stuff. Okay. So, if you have people, you can have light consumers, medium consumers, and barely consumers. You can have different groups within the group, that they choose what level they want to. They're part of the group. They're part of the consolidating and cutting down and cutting back. And the other people, let them go. They want to keep building and building and building and doing this and doing it, let them go. The summer camps, we'll use the summer camps for something good. In fact, the people can stay there all year, right? And do what? Clean up the woods. And while you're doing that, making studies of how to do this. We don't want to ruin the woods, right? By raking all the leaves and putting them in plastic bags. We don't want to do that, right? We just want to do them like they should be. And do woods like they used to have. Like Johnny Appleseed used to take the apple mash and he'd plant apples here and there, right? Why you don't have no birds in the woods? Hell, because it ain't nothing to eat. Suppose there's plum trees. Think about it. Not everyone, but a few here, a few there, right? A few cherry trees, a few apple trees in the woods. I mean, out in the big woods. So the things can have something to eat, right? And I don't want to go into all this in detail, but this is our next move, is to help our friends. And all this we talked about anyway. We want to play a part in the direction of change, in the world. That's what we've always wanted to do, is written in all of our stuff. We don't want to make nobody do nothing, but we want to participate in the direction of change for the good. Physical fitness, glass bottom boats, carbon cleaners on roofs, if we leave it to those who admit, where you see an air conditioner on every roof. What about a carbon cleaner? What? Oh, carbon is the problem, right? So there's got to be they can hook up a machine to do what? Suck in carbon dioxide. Like photosynthesis, a plant. All we got to do is work on it a while, and it sends fresh air out. Where they run in all the big cities and what have you. Guess what? Pretty soon, the air is cleaned up. You're going to use up so much fuel on that. No. They all work on solar, right? Just work on solar. If the sun has got a little battery, it's going to and that's what you needed anyway in the summer with all that heat and all that thing. They're on all the roofs. And in most of the United States, the sun is going to shine enough to keep them running all the time. Okay, cleaning up the air. Consumption. And remember that the human being is a social animal. The suicides and all that with all the young people is because they're getting all, they may have 5,000 friends on the damn, whatever that thing is, right? But they don't have contact with people. The human being is social. That's why they isolate you. When they want to cause you discomfort, they take you away from people, right? You're isolated, you're cut off. This is the biggest trauma you can do to the human being, right, is cut him off from other people. Now imagine you got a new mission in life and you're working with people. When you go on your regular job, whatever it is, and you got your weekends and you got your evening, you got all this time, 3 or 4 hours per evening or night, to make the world a better, cleaner place, right? And you working with a team of people that do that. Problem solved, all your social, right? Because you're part of a team or a tribe. Yeah, so we're going to reverse and go back to tribalism, but you've chose your tribe. You choose what team you want to be on. Out of the consumers, I want to be a mid-level consumer. I want to snatch a few little things here and there, but I want to do the work for good. So you be with those type of people, or not all, but generally, right? You want to be a vegan type. You don't want no consumption. You want to be almost barefooted, right? There's a group of people that are like that, right? That's your team. That's your tribe. Solving these problems are so simple that it's just, what are these dummies? But now get up a good war. You're ready. We got billions for defense and what? That's what the little girl was saying. And she's a little girl, a young, you know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, I was looking, I